I'm going to jump back to Superman. I'm going to jump back to Superman and jump back to the DC. James Gunn's Superman is now the best reviewed DC movie since The Suicide Squad, which came out in 2021, dethroning the previous James Gunn. That's crazy. The DC movie in general? Oh, since The Suicide Squad. Not ever. Since. Because I say there's no way they beat The Dark Knight. Okay, since The Suicide Squad. Okay, so reviews for Superman have been counted, and with 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, the certified fresh DCU movie is now the best reviewed DC Comics adaptation since James Gunn's The Suicide Squad in 2021. So 4 years later, they have a pretty high rated movie here. The review embargo for Superman lifted yesterday, 86% tomato score based on 151 reviews. It's fair to say this is a suitably strong start for the James Gunn DCU. A $230 million debut at the global box office bodes well for Superman's chances of long-term financial success. However, it will still need to contend with strong competition from Jurassic World Rebirth, The Fantastic Four First Steps, and general superhero fatigue. We don't know how much Superman needs to break even, but anything over $500 million will be likely considered a win by DC Studios. DC hasn't produced a bona fide hit since 2022's The Batman, so good reviews and a better box office performance than the likes of Black Adam and The Flash are bound to make Warner Brothers Discovery executives happy. It's worth pointing out that Superman is the best reviewed DC movie since The Suicide Squad, another DC Comics adaptation held by Gunn. That has a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes and was followed by The Batman, Black Adam, Shazam, Fury of the Gods. So right now, The Batman could essentially still dethrone Superman, by the way. If a few more people come in and give it a negative review. However, if a few more people get it to 90%, it could tie. So who the hell knows? Shazam, Fury of the Gods at 49%, The Flash at 63%, Blue Beetle at 78%, Aquaman and Lost Kingdom 33%, and Joker Folly of Deal with a generous 31%. According to Superman's critics' consensus on Rotten Tomatoes, pulling off the heroic feat of fleshing out a new dynamic, new world by putting its champion, big beating heart, front and center, the Superman flies high as a man of tomorrow grounded in the here and now. It's a terrific start for Superman ahead of its release this weekend and bodes well for the type of positive word of mouth that will make or break the DCU's movie chances of being a box office hit in a month with a lot of strong competition. Okay, so the most important thing for this film in general is next week. It's not this week. This week's big, obviously, with the opening weekend. And I do think that Jurassic World will take a little bit of its international box office. I don't think it's going to hurt too much in the domestic. I think people who really wanted to see Jurassic World domestically here have. They're not going to be rushing out to see it in week 2, and that movie's not going to be a word of mouth movie at all. But internationally, still, dinosaurs are universal, and so that we will see how that's going to play. All right, summer. It is here. More sun, more light, more time to do all the things that make summer so special. Number one thing you don't want to do all summer, you don't want to spend hours cooking inside. Trust me, it's hot. That's where Factor comes in. Factor chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals are ready in just 2 minutes, taking the hassle out of eating well. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, perfect for any active lifestyle over summer and beyond. Factor powers your day sun up to sundown with nutritious breakfast, on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, and guilt-free snacks and desserts. Factor has your whole day covered. Enjoy more this summer and get Factor if you want all the flavors and none of the fuss. Absolutely love Factor. You guys know I've been talking about Factor forever because it is so good, and they give you the options that you need. If you have a particular diet that you're on, that for me is like, I'm all about the protein right now, guys. And boy, did they have just delicious stuff. I love coming back from, if it's a day at work, if it's something that I need to do if I'm coming back from the gym, Factor has me covered. So get started at factormeals.com/Kristian50off. Use that code Kristian50off to get 50% off free shipping on your first box. That's code Kristian50off at factormeals.com/Kristian50off for 50% off plus free shipping. Factormeals.com/Kristian50off. But I think as far as this movie, week 2 is so important because you got to have a strong, you can't have more than a 45% drop in week 2 because Fantastic Four, especially if it's as good as Endgame, as the people in Brazil are saying, then that movie is going to take that is the same audience. That movie is going to take a significant chunk out of your domestic and your international. So the fact that it's this high rated, and as I mentioned, Chris, it's only 1% before Batman, and I guess there's still more critics that could see it and add to it. It could go higher, could go lower, but this is a good sign in general. The buzz behind it. If you're DC and you're David Zoloff, as I like to call him, you're probably happy, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I genuinely forgot how poorly received so many of these movies were. Looking at those Rotten Tomatoes percentages was woof. So he has to be thrilled. All of Warner Brothers has to be thrilled to have a positive response so far. And yeah, that number is going to fluctuate once more and more people are reviewing things, can see it and talk about it. I think this is something they should be very excited about, though, especially because so much of the DCU prior to this one was confusing to your average moviegoer of, do these movies matter? Do I need to see this? Do I have to see some other thing? What's even going on with this? This is a really great strong start for your new universe to go, hey, this is who we are. This is what we're doing. This is the tone that we're setting. And this is what you can kind of expect from us while still dabbling in other kind of genres within this universe, doing what they're doing with Lanterns and Supergirl and all of that. So I think it's a really great debut and a number they should be really happy with. And genuinely, as long as we don't dip below a Black Adam, I think they should be pretty happy.
I think so, and I think that but Black Adam just made so many mistakes that there's no world where Black Adam should have cost what it costs. It's just
that movie. I wanted so badly to like that, and it was just, I'm trying to find something. I'm trying to cling to something. Pierce Brosnan, can you show up more?
I know. I like that movie more than most people do, but it's not one of those movies where I'm gonna like. It's not like Dune, where I tell you guys you're out of your minds for not liking it.
When I agree with you that we probably are. Like, I should like this movie. Why don't I?
It's one of the, but Black Adam, though, when you say that movie's terrible, I am not going to fight you on that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to fight you on it. I remember watching it going, why am I enjoying this so much? And you know what it is? I'm a music junkie, and I love the music in that movie. I love it. And watching that movie, but no means am I going, what are you talking about? It's a good movie. It's not. But that's one of those movies that, what's a bad movie that you enjoy watching? That's the movie. I don't mind watching that movie. But there's no world where it should have cost what it cost. Ridiculous. And I use it as an example all the time. If that movie cost 80 to 90 million, it makes a profit, but it didn't. And so it lost. But either way, yes, Superman needs to make a lot of money in order to break even. But the difference between that and Black Adam is there's a lot of hype behind this one. And I don't mean the hype. Well, there's a lot of hype on Black Adam and Superman. They're not for one post-credit scene. I'm talking about the actual movie itself and what it could mean.
Most people know who Superman is.
Right. This opening weekend, though,
don't know that.
This opening weekend is going to be the big story. It really is. On Capes and Cowls on Friday, we're going to be discussing, we won't be doing spoilers yet, but we're going to be talking about, obviously, what the movie already made, because I think Thursday night previews it'll have the numbers on it. So we'll be talking about that. We'll have a kind of a genuine general idea of what it's going to look like over the 3-day weekend, at least. But yeah, if you're Warner Brothers with the reviews and everything else too, you got to win. You got to win. Critics seem to like it. Majority of fans seem to like it. You seem to be, and it seems like your pre-sales are doing good. So you got to be happy. You got to be happy. What do you guys think about this? Do you think it means anything that we have, this highest review since the Suicide Squad? Put your thoughts in there. Let me know.